Welcome to FBB Forum. If you like this content, please be sure to like and subscribe. And I also wanted to thank everybody for your support. This podcast has been going on for about a year now, so I really appreciate all y'all's support. I'm very pleased to welcome the stunning IFBB Pro women's physique competitor, Jada Beverly, to the podcast. Jada has competed in bodybuilding since 2012 and earned her pro card in the 2019 NPC USAs. Her most recent competition was the Daytona Pro in September of this year, where she placed second in a stacked class of amazing muscle ladies. And I was really pleased to get to meet her in Daytona too. I'm really pleased to welcome you here to the FBB Forum. Thank you, Jada.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. I've been a fan for a long time, so it's great to get to meet you.
Yeah, I remember meeting you before. I'm pretty sure it was Tampa. Yeah, it was Tampa, wasn't it?
Oh, Tampa, that's true. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
2020.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, during the pandemic. Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really, that was a good show too.
Yep, another stacked class.
Yeah,
It's
well, that
always
was
the case whenever I want to do something.
a lot of ladies competing. That's true. Yeah. It was really great to see you compete in Daytona. What was your
Yeah,
experience like there?
the whole thing was really kind of an unknown situation because I had originally said I wasn't competing again.
Yeah.
I originally was like I'm done. Um So, make a long story short, um, there was some people that kind of pushed for me to give it a go one more time. So I was like, well, if I'm going to do it, it's going to have to be back into physique.
Hmm.
My body just did not like being in the bodybuilding stuff. I mean, I pulled a good look one of the shows for sure, but it was just I had a lot of difficulty maintaining my health and things like that.
Hmm.
So I was kind of trying to get myself in shape after, kind of just being completely normal again. Almost
Hmm.
didn't even have the muscle that I once had. So
Really?
it took me a bit of time. I originally had a couple others I was thinking about doing, but Daytona was the time frame was just right, and thank God it was.
Hmm.
So I ended up picking that one, and I say the whole situation was just kind of unknown. I didn't know how I was going to feel. I didn't know how I was going to look and stack up to everybody after not competing in physique since 2020. I, was hoping that I would feel good because the show I did before that, I didn't feel good. I felt horrible.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, and just the traveling there, and you want to know, you want to hope that your body and your physique will hold up. And I also, and I made a comment about this at another interview. Everything that was going to happen at this show would have fallen completely on me
Okay.
because I didn't have a coaching team or anything like that with me at this one.
Wow.
So I put everything under my own coaching name, the Muscle Realm. And I was like, if anything happens at the show, I'm to blame because I did everything myself.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like a little bit to swallow too, but at least I wouldn't have anybody to answer to.
Yeah,
So
that's true. You
so
did
it
a
was kind of
great
like
job.
it was kind of, huh?
You did a great job coaching yourself, I think. I mean, you look terrific.
I mean, I've done it a few times before, especially in bodybuilding. But yeah, for this one, it was like if I'm gonna do this, I have to do it in my time frame and kind of like in my way. I got to do things my way
Yeah,
because I struggled so much my last bodybuilding show that I did,
sure.
and I got really ill, and it took me months to recover from that.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh, no. Wow, yeah.
yeah,
What was the illness that you got or what?
my body just I don't know, it shut down. So
Hmm.
through no, I want to okay, you remember Indie Pro? Remember
Yeah.
Indie?
Uh-huh.
The Muscle Realm helped put that bodybuilding class in for that show. So I ended up also competing in it, but I probably shouldn't have because 6 weeks prior to that show or before, I don't know if I got one of the how many there was like different strands of COVID or whatever.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if I had gotten, at that time there was one called the Omnicrom or something. I don't remember what it was.
Hmm.
But something happened to me 6 weeks before that show, and I wasn't able to train very well.
Hmm.
I was very weak.
Mm-hmm.
Um, None of my protocol was really kind of working.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Um, and I just felt sick.
Hmm.
And so I started losing muscle mass,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't holding any leanness either.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking it would kick after a week or two. So I kept on pushing for that show.
Mm.
But it turned out that even after 2 weeks, I still didn't feel the same.
Mm. I
And
see.
I was dealing with some other weird things that I never dealt with too, like swelling in the feet, a little bit of water retention all over.
Mm.
And my heart rate was going nuts.
Hmm. Yeah, that's not good.
So I really should have just not done it, but I did it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I tried my best. Um, but afterwards, after that show, I kind of hit a wall. Like I had
Yeah.
all kinds of weird things happening to me.
Oh,
And
wow.
it took me till about October of that year to start to feel healthy again. There was probably 3 or 4 months I wasn't even lifting weights.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
shame. You got
Yeah.
sick like that, and that it lasted so long too. That's a pain.
I'm not even sure what it was, but things did not get normal for me till about October.
Really?
And I felt like I felt like I could train without passing out. One time I went to the gym when this happened and my heart rate shot up. I stopped training because I was trying to catch my breath. I felt dizzy. I passed out right on the gym floor.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know what was going on with me. If you asked me today, I couldn't even tell you. I was back and forth to my doctor. My doctor was trying to figure things out, like getting scans. He couldn't figure out what my heart rate was doing.
Hmm. I understand.
So,
Wow.
and blood pressure was, not cooperating either. It was very alarming experience. It's very weird.
I bet. So with Daytona, you didn't have any of that? You're feeling good?
I felt okay. I still felt tired after the show. I felt very tired.
Okay.
Um, my heart rate elevated a little bit, but nothing to the degree of the last time I tried to compete.
Okay.
Nothing to that degree. I
Great.
did get a little bit of we call it the jitters. We don't really know why my body started doing that, but I I had a little bit of that.
Okay.
Um, but it's just one of those things, like this sport is so extreme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the last couple of years I've really tried to push it, to really try to, get up there in the ranks. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes your health just isn't going to allow you to do certain things for a certain
Yeah.
amount of time.
Yeah.
The way you have to eat for the shows and get in condition and all of the cardio that you have to do and the training and the supplements and the whole ordeal.
Yeah. That's right.
Sometimes your body just shuts down and it's like, I'm not going to do this anymore. Not right now.
Yeah.
So I think I was getting to that point.
I understand. Yeah. And you got to listen to your body too and make sure yeah, I understand that. Now, I was really pleased in Daytona you competed in women's physique again, and I just think
Yeah.
you belong there instead of women's bodybuilding. Are you going to stick with women's physique?
If I were to compete in the future, I think I need to take an entire year off.
Okay.
I don't think I don't think I'll ever go back to bodybuilding.
Yeah. I don't remember why did you make that switch to begin with?
I kept getting told that I was a little bit too big for physique.
Oh, really? Wow.
And I had some judges tell me, just a small handful, wanted to told me that I should probably do the switch. But then I had the rest of them kind of on the fence about it, not really sure if that was the choice to make.
Yeah.
Um, but when you keep getting told like your muscle bellies are too developed, they're too rounded, that's why you're not doing good in this visit in this, the physique
Uh,
division. So I saw a lot of other girls making the switch and doing well. So I felt kind of pressured.
yeah.
And I thought maybe let me give that a try.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, but when I went to Savannah um in 2021, best look I ever brought in my life. and they still wouldn't let me crack top 10. I was like, well, I guess it doesn't matter what division I'm in, does it?
Oh man, the judges are so fickle and finicky, I think, and it
Well, you know
depends.
what? I can't even point the finger at the judges.
Yeah,
It's really the big boys club. It's really in the hands of the people that are putting on the shows.
yeah, that's
Um,
true. Yeah.
it's really, you got to be so picky about what show you're doing,
Hmm.
because you just don't know how thick the politics are.
Hmm. That's true.
So, it's just, I kind of learned, I got to pick my shows better.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, so, you know, standing here today, I mean, I I may never ever make it to the Olympia.
Uh-huh.
And it took me a long time to accept that and
Yeah.
and realize that maybe that's not where my road leads.
Okay.
Um, but I do have to accept that fact that I may never ever qualify.
Okay. Sure. I hope you do though.
And
I think you have a great look.
after a while, I just had to accept that thought process because like my body is taking such a beating trying to look the way you have to look for these shows
Yeah.
that I'm they don't we don't make that much as females. We
Yeah.
The money's just not there.
Hmm.
So when you kind of like weigh it out, it seems it's almost like I hate to say it, but it's like bad business.
Hmm. Yeah.
Unless you're one of the few that are actually making it and you're doing okay.
Hmm.
For the rest of us, we're putting too much in and not getting enough out. And I'm unfortunately that is my life with the sport right now.
Hmm.
So I need to find a different thing to do.
Hmm. Sure. I understand that. Yeah. I know it is. It's tough, and I always thought you were kind of underrated, at the competitions in general. But I also think that you're better suited to physique with your structure and although I thought you looked great in women's bodybuilding, but
Yeah, I mean, I could have done either or if I
mhm,
would have gotten a fair shot, but it's just this industry, I don't know. I think I pissed a couple of people off. I really do.
mhm, yeah, uh-huh,
Because, I've spoken my mind about it and I'm also not a puppet.
uh-huh,
I've been kind of doing my own thing this whole time.
hmm,
And so, it kind of left me at a situation where I don't I don't really have the ace of spade. So it almost any show I do, um, and that's what made Daytona so scary because I just did not know what was going to happen at that show.
yeah, I understand. Yeah,
So
I was curious. Did you get any feedback from the Daytona judges about where to improve, or do you check with the
no,
judges generally? No.
no, no, because I know what I needed to do. But even if I had brought the look that I wanted, like an even tighter look,
Uh-huh.
I'm still quite sure they would have given it to the girl that won the show anyway.
Okay.
No matter what I look like, that was gonna happen.
Okay. Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
could I have looked even tighter in some areas of that show? Yeah, and doing another show after that, that's where that would have happened. But I didn't have any more shows left and I was exhausted. So it's been a long time since I only did one show.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm typically I do better if I do a second, third, and fourth.
Oh, I
So I
see.
start to look better and better.
Uh-huh.
But for the first one of that season and the only one and dropping back to another division, that's I think that's one of my best looks that I had
Yeah.
brought. So
I agree. Yeah. I bet it was
yeah.
exciting to even though he didn't win it, but getting second, I think that was kind of validation too for you.
I mean, yes and no, because I could have easily won it. I mean, according to the feedback I was given by those that were there and those that were watching and those that saw all the pictures,
Hmm.
it could have easily swung my way.
I agree. That's
So
true.
the choice that they made was to not give it to me,
Hmm.
like it has happened at other shows I've done.
Yeah, I understand.
So it's kind of like it makes me nervous to do a show and put so much effort into something, knowing that even if you brought the best package, you still might pop third, fifth, maybe outside the top 10. That has been my my career field. That has been what has happened since I've competed as a pro.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
so that's the reason, like, people keep asking me, well, I mean, isn't the passion there? Oh yeah, I love working out. I love looking great. But what I can't keep doing is prepping for shows, making myself unhealthy, putting all this money into something and not getting to my goal. I'm
Yeah.
not getting the approval, the nod. I'm not getting sent to the Olympia.
I understand. Yeah.
That's when I have to take a step back and think, okay, let's analyze this. Maybe we need to find something different to do.
Yeah, I understand. Definitely. That's got to be kind of frustrating too. And do you think we talked about that your outspokenness, which I kind of like, but I don't know if that
Huh?
you're being kind of an outspoken competitor, which I like. I like that you're pretty plain talker, but
Yeah.
but I don't know if that has hurt, in terms of your chances of going to the O or
No, there's specific people that I've pissed off that are very, very powerful people. I'm not going
mm,
to name any names, but
yeah,
these people hold the keys. These
yeah,
people hold the keys and they know exactly who I am.
hmm yeah,
So, yeah,
hmm,
if they decide that I'm not going to the Olympia,
I
unfortunately,
understand.
it's a subjective sport
Hmm
and they get to make that call.
yeah,
This is not a situation where I'm going into an arena with a circle around me. I'm in an octagon and I need to beat this other person. And I literally do that fair and square.
hmm
This is a situation where this is a very subjective sport. So even though the masses believe that you deserve a certain thing, doesn't mean they're going to give it to you.
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's the kind of dirty game that I've been playing with this sport. Um, and I think I'm kind of tired of it because
hmm
with the looks I have brought and as many shows as I've done, I should have already qualified for the Olympia.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
But I'm not sure if that's ever going to happen.
Yeah,
So
I definitely understand that. Yeah. Hmm. Now, we talked a little bit about your um coaching yourself, but would you consider getting a prep coach or opposing coach again, or are you going to coach yourself going
I
forward?
mean, that's what I do anyway. I have people that I'm coaching and they're doing really well.
Okay.
So
Good.
sometimes it's nice to see like, okay, well, if the industry's not going to work for me because somehow I blacklisted myself, I'm not really sure how I did that.
Uh-huh.
But all my knowledge and everything I know, I'm putting into my clients
Yeah.
and they're doing fantastic. I mean, a
Uh-huh.
lot of them are doing really well.
Great.
Um, one of them did the Daytona Pro with me. He's a masters. That was his second pro show ever, and he came in and did two separate divisions because you can do that as a masters.
Oh yeah.
And he came in fourth and fifth in all of his divisions. So
Wow.
like they're doing really good, So I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, that's great. Or maybe you could be a judge too, maybe.
Yeah,
That'd be
a lot
interesting.
of things would have to change in the sport though. Like some hands would have to change
Yeah.
um in regards to, you know, who's in charge right now.
Yeah.
I but it's something that I thought about, of course I did. I mean, I was like, I would make a great judge. I mean, I know all the divisions, every
Yeah.
single one of them, and
hmm
what they're supposed to be looking for.
hmm
Um, and but like I said, I think in the next 3 to 5 years, there's probably going to be some changes in the sport.
hmm
Um, so, who knows? I don't know.
I was curious, did you, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Did you get a chance to see the Washington Post articles that came out?
Oh yeah.
And I thought those were kind of interesting because it
Yeah.
seems like, well, it seems like maybe there's been some changes in the sport because there's been, seems like fewer deaths this year. And maybe, I don't know if those articles kind of helped rein in some of the dangerous stuff that coaches were doing.
Maybe maybe so, but also um since a lot of the deaths that have happened, um have you noticed like every big show there's people pulling out. There's people that are
Yeah.
not finishing. So I think that the athletes themselves are taking initiative, and they're like, I'm going to think about my health before this.
Hmm.
So I did see a lot of people pulling out of shows, a lot of people that qualified for the Olympia, and they're saying we're not going to do it due to health situations. I think that that's been saving a lot of lives,
I think so too. I
you know,
agree.
because I've never seen so many people not do the Olympia that qualified this year. And
Hmm.
we saw a little bit of it last year too.
Hmm.
So I think it's definitely the athletes taking initiative. And for instance, myself, like that's why you're not seeing me do much anymore, because like I'm not going to let this sport kill me,
Hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that's
you
good.
know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the articles definitely brought light, and the athletes are definitely thinking about themselves. And I
Hmm.
think that's a good thing. You know, if there's a show that you're supposed to do and something's not right,
Hmm.
pull out. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
That's good. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's a very good thing because we definitely need
Yeah.
fewer deaths in the sport. Definitely need the
Yeah.
athletes to look out for themselves. And
So yeah, I definitely think that's definitely helped tremendously for
that's,
sure.
that's terrific. Um,
So
my next few questions, I was just going to ask you about kind of work and home life, and we talked a little bit about it before we started this recording. But you have a full-time job outside of bodybuilding?
yeah, it seems to take a lot of my time.
Where are you working?
So I'm working for FedEx Ground at the moment because to the remote area of which I've lived, Columbus, I moved from Columbus, and the funny thing is I had a better paying job down in Columbus,
Uh-huh.
but it seemed to me that it was better paying, but there's a lot of work. It's a toxic environment for me to work.
Oh, I
Um,
see.
just various situations.
Okay.
And I was struggling to keep order because they had me in a lead position where I needed people to be underneath me, and I needed them to actually do the work that needed to be done.
Hmm.
So it's just it was a very difficult situation for me because like long story short, just big language barrier.
Oh, really? Oh, that's not
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
understand.
also that job had limited hours.
Hmm.
So I left Columbus. I wanted to get out of the city.
Okay.
I came back up north of Ohio. It's more rural. It's
Okay.
more like country.
Uh-huh.
Um, my parents are up here. They're getting very, very elderly. So
Yeah.
I'm trying very hard to help them.
Oh, great. Okay.
So that's been taking up a lot of my time. I also live up here with my current boyfriend, um, and his family, and they're all great. And everybody works. So that's why we can't get anything done because everyone works so much,
Oh, I see.
especially this time of year. So um I ended up getting a job up here because city versus country, the jobs are, I want to say they're a little bit more, they're limited, you know.
Yeah, I understand.
So did I want to work for FedEx Ground? For up this way, that was going to be a better job for me. Flexibility too. They were going to work with me on that.
Okay, good.
So, I wanted a driving job. That's what I wanted to do. I like to be on my own, doing my own thing, kind of managing my own self. I don't like to be micromanaged.
Yeah, I
So
understand.
when you're on the road, you know, you're on the road and you're doing your own thing. And then when you're done, you just bring the truck in, park it, do your post-trip inspections and prepare for the next day. So it gives me time to like work with myself, by myself.
Nice.
Could they pay a little bit better up in this area? Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
But for now it's okay. And honestly, it's kind of a challenging job because there's always different things to deal with that you wouldn't even think about. For
Yeah.
instance, you know, driving these trucks in certain weather conditions,
Yeah. I
um,
bet.
delivering in the countries. I mean, it's nuts. Some of these packages are heavier than me, you know? So as far as a physical job, I mean, it's definitely going to keep me physical for the times I can't make it into the gym,
Yeah, sure.
but
I was thinking delivering to like a rural area would be tough because you might have a gate, and you can't get to their house per se.
Yeah, and sometimes if there's a situation where you just can't get back there, there's codes that you can put on certain packages basically saying, I couldn't get to this stop today for this reason. And I
Yeah.
think we're going to see a lot of that in the coming season here when we start getting probably our first snowfalls and stuff.
I
I think
bet
we're going to see a lot of, yeah,
that's going to be
not
challenging,
being
I
able
bet.
to deliver certain things.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, yeah, I'd be worried about ice and stuff too. That wouldn't be much fun.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah.
No, that's cool. It sounds like a good opportunity for you though. Um and one thing I was curious about, you mentioned your parents, but what do they think about your bodybuilding career and are they supportive?
Oh, I mean, they've known I've done this since I started back in 2012 when I was doing figure.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, they because growing up with them, I was an equestrian, so like I was always doing some type of competition of some sort.
Oh
So
yeah.
so they
Oh,
get it. Yeah.
that's very cool. And in terms of where you live now, do you find the gym and just you have a supportive
I
bodybuilding community there?
just there is a small one. I just joined a new gym because before that, I was kind of bouncing back and forth between these other two.
Okay.
But I finally found one that I think is going to be much more suitable for me.
Okay.
The guy, this is the third one he's opened. Um, so this is the first one he has right here in this town, and it's called the Warehouse Gym.
Hmm.
So he bought the gym. It was originally a different gym, and it seemed to have had like a lot of CrossFit stuff in there.
Okay.
And so he's kind of reinventing, putting a lot of different training equipment in there, not so much CrossFit.
Mm.
There is a small community that he is a part of that does compete.
Hmm.
Most of them are still amateurs though. So it could be an opportunity for me to kind of come in and help with anything, with
Hmm.
any type of contest prepping or posing or something. I could help with that.
Great.
So kind of glad that happened because I wasn't completely happy with the other two gyms that I was going to.
Uh-huh.
Um, there was something, just a huge part missing from each one of them, but this gym kind of has everything I need and
Great.
24/7 access. So
Oh, nice. That's great. Very cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I would think moving away from the city, it might be a little harder to find kind of a supportive
Yeah,
bodybuilding community.
it takes a minute to just get everything kind of figured out in your new life and everything's new and you know.
Yeah, I understand. I think it kind of sucks too that you can't compete in Columbus at the Arnold because they took away the division. It's like, dang it.
Oh. Well, I have competed at the Arnold, but it was when I was an amateur.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish the Arnold would get back to being, like the high level contest that it's supposed to be and bring the divisions back. But I'm sure there's politics involved in that.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. Um, if Arnold's going to get rid of a division, it's for whatever reason, and I don't think he has any plans on bringing it back.
Hmm.
He was the first to get rid of women's bodybuilding.
Hmm.
It never came back.
Yeah.
Physique went out the door. That made sense to me. But what didn't make sense is why figure went out the door.
Yeah. I know. I don't understand that either.
That was a different one for me. That was kind of, yeah. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
um, yeah, we were talking about on a podcast another time we were discussing the Olympia.
Uh-huh.
Um, it is going to be interesting to see what happens next year because I just, you know, the number of qualified athletes in the lineup for women's bodybuilding was just, it was shocking, you
Yeah.
know?
So small. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the ladies that pulled out too. And I think that was, health issues that So
That's what I'm saying. But
yeah.
see, smart on them for pulling out versus forcing themselves to compete, and then who knows what tragic thing could have happened. So I don't rag on anyone who's had to pull out of a competition. I mean, crazy enough that it had to be the Olympia,
Hmm.
you know, one that I may never step foot on. So it is kind of like crazy when you think about it, like, wow, they're actually pulling out of the Olympia. But I'm telling you, when it's a situation with health, it literally renders you no choice.
Hmm. Yeah, I understand. And
You
it's
know,
hard to make that decision about health too, I think. Don't push
yeah,
yourself to death or injury, you know. So yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. I just
The
we're almost oh no, go ahead.
the sport's extreme,
Yeah,
you
it is.
know, it's
Yeah.
very extreme.
Hmm. I really admire y'all ladies for doing it because it's just that's a lot of hard work and it is that's so much stress on your body too and I don't think that fans necessarily realize or
They don't.
no.
They don't realize all the hormonal changes that you have to go through, and you
Hmm.
know how the wreck that or what that how that can wreck your body. That's what I'm
Hmm.
trying to say.
Yeah.
How that can wreak havoc on your body.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
know it does mine. Oh my gosh, like I'm still struggling. I'm trying to get my hair to thicken back up and my skin to clear back up.
Really?
And
Yeah.
it's all to due to hormonal things, you know, that
Hmm.
have to change when you're competing. So,
Yeah, I definitely understand. Well, since we're almost out of time, would you mind doing a quick flex for me? I'll put myself on mute, but you have to talk real quick.
okay. I have no idea what you want me to say, but so I haven't been really working out as much, but I think for I don't know, 8 months out of a show. No, 8 weeks out of a show. We have a little bit going on here.
I think you look
Not much.
terrific. Oh yeah, thank you. No, you look terrific. And like I said, I was so
I
pleased to see you in Daytona. That was great.
Yeah, I wish I could work. I wish I had more time and energy to get in the gym more,
Hmm.
besides like 2 or 3 times a week. But for right now, that's kind of like what's going on.
Oh,
So,
I think you look terrific, Jada. Thank you.
oh, sorry.
Oh, no
Thank you.
problem. And I think we'll have to end it here because we're almost out of time. But it was really great speaking with you, and I wish you the best, and definitely keep in touch. And I'll get this posted relatively soon too.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having me on. And who knows what the future may hold. I doubt I'll do anything this coming 2024,
Okay,
but you know, maybe 2025. We'll see.
that'd
We'll
be
see.
terrific. Thank you,
I'll
Jada.
still be in my 30s by then, so that's good.
Oh yeah, no, I love to see you in 2025. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Thanks. Take care.